You are not shopping for viral reviews. You are shopping for predictability. You are shopping for stability. You are shopping for something that will not surprise your retirement plan 5 years from now. Because the real price of a vehicle is not what you pay at the dealership. It is what leaves your bank account quietly over time. Fuel, maintenance, insurance, depreciation, unexpected repairs. So today we are breaking down the Toyota RAV4 versus the Mazda CX-5 the only way that really matters. This is the money video. Purchase price and trim comparison. Let's begin with what people actually buy. They want heated seats, blind spot monitoring, power lift gates, maybe all-wheel drive. In the United States, the most commonly purchased RAV4 trims are the XLE and XLE Premium. For the Hybrid, the XLE Hybrid is extremely popular. For the Mazda CX-5, most buyers choose the preferred or premium trims. Now, let's talk realistic drive-away pricing. A well-equipped RAV4 XLE typically lands in the low to mid-$30,000 range. The RAV4 Hybrid version usually runs $2,000 to $3,000 more. The Mazda CX-5 Preferred often comes in slightly cheaper than the RAV4, usually by about $1,000 to $2,000. At first glance, the Mazda looks like the better deal, but here is where buyers make a mistake. You cannot compare a base gas RAV4 to a loaded CX-5 and call it even. When you match equipment properly, the gap narrows. And once you step into the hybrid RAV4, you are paying more upfront. The real question becomes this: does that extra money come back to you later? Real-world fuel economy over 5 years? This is where the financial story starts to separate. The Mazda CX-5 in real-world driving typically averages around 24 to 27 miles per gallon. The gas RAV4 averages about 26 to 28 miles per gallon. They are close, but the RAV4 Hybrid changes everything. Owners consistently report 37 to 40 miles per gallon in everyday driving. Now let's assume a realistic scenario. You drive 11,000 miles per year. Fuel averages around $3.75 per gallon. Over 1 year, the CX-5 will likely cost you around $1,600 to $1,700 in fuel. The gas RAV4 around $1,500. The RAV4 Hybrid closer to $1,100. Now stretch that over 5 years. The CX-5 could cost around $8,000 in fuel. The gas RAV4 around $7,500. The hybrid RAV4 roughly $5,500. That is a savings of nearly $3,000 over 5 years compared to the CX-5. $3,000 is not a rounding error. It is a vacation. It is a year of property tax. It is real money. And if you drive more than 11,000 miles per year, the savings increase. Routine maintenance and service costs. Both Toyota and Mazda have strong reliability reputations. Neither brand has a history of catastrophic failure in these models. Toyota includes 2 years of complimentary maintenance. Mazda does not include the same program. RAV4 oil changes are typically spaced at 10,000 miles using synthetic oil. Mazda recommends slightly shorter intervals depending on driving conditions, often 5,000 to 7,500 miles. Over 5 years, routine maintenance for both vehicles will likely fall within a similar range. Toyota may land between $1,500 and $2,000. Mazda may land between $1,800 and $2,300. Close. But there is something subtle here. The RAV4 Hybrid uses regenerative braking. That means when you slow down, the electric motor helps reduce brake wear. Hybrid owners frequently report brake pads lasting significantly longer than traditional gas vehicles. That means fewer brake replacements over time. It is not dramatic, but it is steady savings. And steady savings add up. Insurance and registration? Insurance depends heavily on your state, driving history, and coverage level. But generally speaking, the Toyota RAV4 tends to insure slightly cheaper than the Mazda CX-5. We are not talking about massive differences, perhaps $50 to $150 per year. Toyota's high safety ratings and strong parts availability often help keep repair costs predictable, which insurance companies like. Over 5 years, that difference may total a few $100s, not huge, but again, small advantages stack up. Depreciation and resale. This is where Toyota traditionally pulls ahead. The RAV4 is one of the strongest resale performers in the compact SUV category. After 5 years, it typically retains around 60 to 65% of its value. The Mazda CX-5 generally retains closer to 50 to 55%. Let's put that into perspective. If you buy a $35,000 vehicle today, after 5 years, the RAV4 may still be worth around $21,000 to $23,000. The CX-5 may be worth closer to $18,000 to $19,000. That is potentially a $3,000 difference in resale value. That difference directly impacts your true ownership cost. Toyota's brand reputation plays a major role here. Used car buyers trust Toyota longevity. Trust equals demand. Demand equals higher resale. If you plan to trade in or sell later, that matters. Hybrid battery / major component risk. Hybrid battery replacement. Toyota's hybrid battery warranty covers 8 years or 100,000 miles as standard. In many states, it extends to 10 years or 150,000 miles. Most owners will never replace the battery during their ownership period. If a replacement is required outside warranty, costs generally range from $3,000 to $5,000 depending on options and region. Failure rates are low. Toyota has decades of hybrid data behind it. Meanwhile, the Mazda CX-5 is traditional internal combustion. No hybrid battery, less electrical complexity, but it burns more fuel and lacks regenerative braking benefits. The hybrid system in the RAV4 often reduces strain on the engine and transmission over time. So, complexity does not automatically mean higher risk. In fact, Toyota's hybrid track record is one of the most proven in the industry. Total cost of ownership summary. Let's simplify everything. Upfront price, fuel over 5 years, maintenance, insurance, depreciation. When you calculate total 5-year ownership cost, the RAV4 Hybrid often comes out as the lowest overall cost, even though it costs more upfront. The gas RAV4 and the CX-5 end up closer to one another, but Mazda's slightly weaker resale and higher fuel consumption usually push its total cost a bit higher. So here's the smart money verdict. If your number one priority is minimizing long-term ownership cost, if you want predictable expenses, if you care about resale value, if you drive more than 10,000 miles per year, the Toyota RAV4 Hybrid is typically the strongest financial choice. If you drive fewer miles, if you prefer a traditional engine, if driving feel matters more than fuel efficiency, the Mazda CX-5 is still an excellent vehicle. But financially speaking, Toyota usually wins the long-term cost equation. It is confidence, not hype, not emotion, just numbers. If this breakdown helped you think more clearly about your decision, subscribe for more real-world ownership comparisons focused on what truly affects your money. And tell me in the comments, are you choosing based on how it feels today or how it impacts your finances 5 years from now?